that I've had a couple of years experience, maybe 3 walking dogs in Southern California. And this was a shelter. There are 3 shelters in Southern California, basically Los Angeles and south, a 30-mile swath near the ocean. And that specialized in German Shepherds. The one I like, the West Coast, based in Costa Mesa, West Coast shelter for shepherds. So that's sort of a name that I especially liked. But they had ranging between 60 and 100 dogs at any time. Now these dogs are basically kept in kennels that are sort of cages about the size of 2 of these tables. In some cases slightly larger, but not. Some of the dogs are 1 to a cage, 1 to a shelter, only because they won't tolerate other dogs. They'll fight with them, eventually they may kill them. And that's happened once or twice. And so this shelter wants to keep the dogs alive forever. It never, they never, you know, in some cases they keep them for years. So there's a great variety of dogs there and a lot of fun to be had. Some of the things I learned real easily was, you know, if you're walking the dog and it notices a rabbit off to the side or it starts barking, and if you're walking a dog, you can do this with your own dogs too. The big thing that usually diverts their attention is just turn them around, walk them around in a circle. It completely takes their attention away, and they'll, you know, be diverted from whatever they're barking at or disturbing. One of the things I especially learned from dogs is that you can't lie to them. You know, they're really intelligent. If you don't like them, they know it. You know, and if you do like them, they know it too. Generally, I like them, especially German Shepherds. You know, they're intelligent, they're furry, you can put your arm around them easily. Yeah. In one case, and I brought this up about the size of the cages, in one case, and sometimes to put a dog back in its cage, that you really need help. You walk the dog into a certain section, there's about 3 places where you lock it up, because if it gets away, you don't want it tearing through the whole area and making an uprising. But so you take the dog back to its cage. There may be up to 2 other dogs in this tiny cage, and they want to get out. You know, they want to get out and have an adventure. They may not have been out for 5 days or a week, even for 15 minutes. And so you're shoving this one dog in and finally getting down to the point where you're pushing it in with your feet, sitting down on it, and the other dogs are trying to sneak in or out underneath it and using as much force as they can. And I've never been bitten in this situation, but they can really scratch. And they're just trying to, you know, doing their own thing to try to get out. So this one time I walked out and I was walking a dog that I liked, and I think I was one of his favorite walkers too, but I had a lot of blood on my hand from scratching. My skin was all torn up, and there was quite a lot of blood here, starting to coagulate. And so we got about 50 feet out on our walk. This dog turned around, sniffed at my arm once, and then licked it. Now, this wasn't a lick like a dog licks you, you know, the doggy kisses you're talking about. It put a layer of something, almost like another skin, that I could see over all the bloody area. And immediately some of the pain went away. And I know I just left it and it sort of got absorbed in or evaporated away or whatever. But the injury healed. By the morning it was healed, by the following morning. It healed just extremely fast. And so I've recognized that. I recognize that, and I've heard that this is also our own mouse, injuries to our mouse heal. Why is this? Has anybody done any research? And if somebody's heard of it, I'd like to know. Why is it, what is it about the saliva that they can choose to make it healing in certain cases, or instinctively do? You know, it could be of great benefit to us. So that was one thing I've learned, that dogs can heal, and since then I discovered a lot of animals do it, if they're omnivorous or carnivorous. Bears do it. So this is something I've learned, and it's extremely useful to have. So that kind of winds up my speech. It was on really short notice, and I thank you all for being there, being here, and perhaps learning something. And if you have the chance, if you have an opportunity, don't hesitate to walk dogs. And if you really don't like the situation, if they're dog walking, recognize that every shelter seems to have a different political agenda. They all are different, and you'll find one that you like and can get along with and help a lot of people, make some friends, and especially make a tremendous difference in the lives of these animals that might be caged up except for half an hour a week. So, thanks, guys.